Yo, what's going on, guys? In today's YouTube video, I'll be showing you guys how to lace your Jordan 1s. The way that we're going to be lacing the shoes so that the shoelaces hang out from both sides at the top right here. This is going to allow the shoe to be way more comfortable for you when you walk, and it's going to make it harder for the shoe to crease over time. Hopefully this process doesn't take a long time for you guys to end up understanding, but without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, so here are the core purple Jordan 1s that I made a video on. If you guys want to check that video out, it'll be at the top right up here. But yeah, as you can see, they're just normally laced. So this is what it looks like right now, and then I'm going to show you guys a comparison of what it looks like afterwards. So obviously the first step that we need to take here is taking away these laces from both shoes. So let's start off by doing that. This is also a good chance to wash your shoelaces if you already had them dirty. Don't forget to subscribe, and also don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up down below, because I had to unlace both of my shoes just for this video to show you guys how this works. So as you see, I'm putting it in through the first hole. So this is kind of how you want your shoelace to be. My shoelaces aren't even right here, so I'm gonna keep pulling my shoelaces and messing with them until they're even. This side's still a little bit longer than this side, so I'm still gonna add more length to the other side. I think that should be fine. Okay, this side needs just a little bit more length, just a tiny little bit. Okay, so now that my shoelaces are even through the first hole, now this is where the process actually begins and starts. So now that we have this, we're going to want to cross the shoelaces. Make sure you're doing this straight and keep them like that the whole time. Okay, so how you want to start is the right shoelace always goes under. So I'm going to start it off real quick so you guys can kind of see how it's going to look. So it's going to be like this. Right shoelace first. You might want to put your fingers on the shoelace so you can keep it straight as you're pulling it. Also, it might help a little bit if you twist the shoelace on the side so you can keep the shoelace straight. So right under and then left over. Okay, so we started it off like this. Make sure as you're doing this, you're pulling the shoelace up so it won't be like as tight on it. So make sure you pull them a little bit more up and then right under. And left over. At first it's kind of confusing, but you're gonna get it over time. That's how I was when I first started lacing my shoes. So as of right now, this is how it's looking. You see how the shoelaces are a little bit twisted? That's because I wasn't like holding them right and twisting them, but I'm gonna be doing that right now so they won't look bad at the end. So I'm gonna have to twist this shoelace. And then right under again. And then left over. It's kind of hard to tell, but you can see that the right shoelace is under and the left one is over, right under, left over, right under, left over. That's how we're starting. So as you can see, I'm keeping the shoelaces like more loose than before. If you can fit a finger through all these shoelaces, you should be fine. Make sure that as you're doing this, you're not skipping a hole because it is confusing. So this shoelace now goes over this one. You're gonna wanna keep doing this process so you get to these two holes at the top right here. Before you do anything with those two holes at the top, you're gonna grab your shoelace and actually put it through the tongue. The tongue has this little thing that you can pass your shoelaces through to hide them. Grab your shoelace like this and then pass it through the outside. So you see now that I passed one through it, it kind of looks like this. And then you pass the other one, you grab your other shoelace and pass it through the opposite hole. So now through the inside, you should be having both shoelaces coming out. And since you already had crossed the shoelaces through the tongue part, you want to grab it and put it in the direction that it's going towards. So this shoelace is coming out through the right one. I'm not sure if you guys can tell because it's really hard. In this shoe, we're actually not going to use the top hole. We're actually just going to pass the shoelaces through the bottom one, and then you should be fine. So you grab the shoelace from whichever side you pass through the tongue. So this one came out from the right, and so I pass it to the right bottom hole. Like this. And so basically with this shoelace, we're pretty much done. And now the other shoelace, you pass it through the bottom hole as well. And we're pretty much done with this shoe actually. Everything's looking pretty good. This is what the top of the tongue looks like. That's what I was telling you guys about. And as you can see, there's not like one single twisted lace. That's because I was pulling them out, making them loose and actually like keeping them straight and twisting them when I was passing them through the sides. But yeah, we're pretty much done with the right shoe. Now we're gonna do the left shoe. We're gonna use the same method that we used in this shoe. Once you get the first shoe done, you're gonna get the hang of it in order to do the second shoe. One time I was actually lacing my Jordan 1 patent breads before school started, and it took me like 30 minutes the first time, but now I'm like, I don't know, I kind of get the hang of it more. That's why I'm doing this video for you guys, so you guys could learn just like I did. Instead of actually using the black shoelaces, you could also use the purple ones that your shoes came with if you're also using core purples for this. I'm talking about these purplish shoelaces. I personally don't think this color would look good with this one though, unless like your shirt or something is this type of color. Make sure while you're doing this, you have like the crease protector guard under. Or if not, you have like your foot inside the shoe because it actually makes it easier because it like pushes like the tongue upwards. As you can see on both shoes it looks different. So on this one it's through this side and on this one it's through this side. That's just so that the shoes could like look even, I guess. Because if both sides have this side going through, it's gonna look like kind of weird. And then if you think that the shoelaces are too long coming out from both sides, then you might want to put the laces more forward. So mine are perfectly fine like this, and I finally finished my shoes. As you can see, this is how it looks like at the end. Shoelaces hanging out from the bottom hole on each side, both shoes. We're basically finished now. Just make sure that no shoelace is like crooked or like twisted, and also make sure that they're loose enough so these won't be that long. The reason why I said I think it's better to lace your shoe like this is because now this part won't be as tight as it was before onto your actual foot, making this part harder for it to crease over time, allowing your shoe to have more space when you wash so it won't crease as bad as it was creasing before. I'll quickly go ahead and put these shoes on for you guys though, just so you guys can see how they look like this. I was about to put the shoe on with the guard. So this is what the shoe looks like with the laces like this. I honestly feel like it looks way better than it did before. And it feels like there's like more space inside the actual shoe for me to move my foot. You can actually see how much my foot moves like on the inside when I walk. Like they kind of stick out a little bit, and that just makes them way more comfortable. That is going to wrap up today's YouTube video here, guys. Hopefully this video went on to help you guys out. If you guys haven't already, you should definitely subscribe, because when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away a crazy sneaker, and you wouldn't obviously want to miss out on anything like that. But if you guys do have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section down below. If you guys haven't already watched some of my recent videos, I'll leave those links down in the description below. But as always, guys, have a good night there whenever you're watching, and yeah, peace.